So I asked them to start 5 minutes earlier because I was so impressed when I started from Sus Road and I started seeing those posters which were showing directions. It felt really good. मैंने कहा 5 मिनट पहले उनकी तारीफ करनी चाहिए जिन्होंने ये सब implement किया. And then when I landed here, the huge posters, पहले तो vertical posters लगे हुए थे खूब सारे, और उसके बाद वो जो जहाँ पे सब फोटो खिंचा रहे हैं, अच्छा लगा है, जबरदस्त, मस्त, मजा आ गया. So I think I mean I posted on LinkedIn about this event, and I think it's a world-class event. And world-class event की पहचान क्या होती है? Anybody? Okay. बहुत अच्छा है. बिल्कुल. एक चीज जो मेरे दिल के बहुत करीब है, इट्स पंक्चुअलिटी, विच आई हैव लर्न फ्रॉम माय मदर. 9 बजे स्टार्ट होगा प्रेजेंटेशन मेरा, और वो अभी 9 बजने में 2-3 मिनट हैं, और दैट इज साइन ऑफ अ वर्ल्ड क्लास कॉन्फ्रेंस. एंड उसके अलावा 2 दिन सरस्वती की पूजा होगी. ऐसे सेशंस तैयार किए हैं सबने विच आर जस्ट माइंड बॉगलिंग. आपको चूज करने में दिक्कत आ जाएगी कि किस में बैठना है. एक में बैठे तो दूसरे में मिस हो जाएगा. आई रिमेंबर देयर वाज अ ग्रुप ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स लास्ट ईयर. They came in groups of 4, or they basically the reason they had a group of 4 is because each one sat in a different track. There were 4 tracks, जिससे कि सब cover हो जाए, and at the end of the day they would go and compare their notes. So इसी तरह का कुछ माहौल और sessions हमने choose किए हैं इस बार, which you will see. There are lots of people who have worked very hard to get this conference to this stage. I want to thank them about it. But most of all, I feel you will really like the kind of sessions we have created, the booths that we have. We have a lot of external speakers today amongst us. There are, I think, Suraj will tell me, I think there are lots of software professionals that are joining us, other than students. And of course, miniOrange colleagues are also here. So what I would like to request you is 2 दिन मौका छूटना नहीं चाहिए. ऐसे कॉन्फ्रेंस अटेंड करने के लिए मुझे यूएस जाना पड़ता था. 15 साल आरएसए कॉन्फ्रेंस गया था मैं. आई थिंक लास्ट ईयर वाज 15th टाइम आई वेंट देयर. एंड इस तरह का कॉन्फ्रेंस पुणे में हो रहा है, बहुत बड़ी बात है. बहुत मशक्कत के साथ यहाँ तक पहुंचे हैं, एंड I hope you fully make use of it. So don't miss any sessions that you like. Don't miss collaborating with people. Don't miss making those connections. It'll be awesome. So I've not tested this particular thing. I hope it'll work. All right. So the title of my session today is the business of cybersecurity. So my background, I think I'm doing this for about 26 years. एंड मैं बैकग्राउंड में मैं इंजीनियर ही हूँ, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर. बट धीरे धीरे बिजनेस संभालते संभालते अब मुझे साइबर सिक्योरिटी का बिजनेस, उसका डोमेन, वो सब मुझे पता है. तो आई फील लाइक दैट्स व्हाट आई कैन प्रेजेंट टू यू. सो लास्ट ईयर about 100 of us went around the world and visited about 20 plus cities. We covered a lot of Europe. You talk about any country there: France, Italy, Germany, Poland, Spain, all those cities we went to. And we covered a lot of Middle East also. We went to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Oman, Bahrain, and then we also went to US, North America mein, and we covered a lot of cities there in conferences and customers. Then we also went to ऑस्ट्रेलिया, 2-3 सिटीज वहाँ पे कवर किए: सिडनी, मेलबर्न एंड कैनबरा. उसके बाद सिंगापुर, मलेशिया. तो ये जो भी मैं प्रेजेंट करने जा रहा हूँ, इट इज अ सम टोटल ऑफ ऑल माय लर्निंग्स फ्रॉम लास्ट ईयर. सो इट शुड बी लेटेस्ट एंड ग्रेटेस्ट, एंड दीज आर ऑल माय थॉट्स. सो इसके बारे में आपको किसी न्यूज़पेपर कटिंग ऑनलाइन में नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि ये मैंने गैदर किया है. और दूसरा, obviously a team of 100 miniOrange colleagues went around the world to get all this information. So वो उसका सम टोटल है ये जो मेरा लर्निंग है आज. So I'll be presenting it in the form of trends. So the first and the foremost trends, miniOrange is in identity security space. Identity management. Identity management is at the core of cybersecurity. And what I'm very excited about is that the scope of identity management is increasing. पहले क्या होता था कि आइडेंटिटी मैनेजमेंट जैसे स्कूल्स में रजिस्ट्री में अपन किया फिजिकल आईडी देते थे अपन, उसके बाद कंप्यूटर्स आ गए, इंटरनेट आ गया, डिजिटल आइडेंटिटीज आ गई. अभी डिजिटल आइडेंटिटीज का एक और इससे भी बड़ा एक मीनिंग हो गया है, विच इज योर आधार कार्ड इन योर डिजी लॉकर, दैट्स अ डिजिटल आइडेंटिटी. इट्स मी बोल के एक बेल्जियम में आइडेंटिटी प्रोवाइडर है. इट ऑल्सो टेक्स एनी योर द यूरोपियन आईडीज and puts it into a wallet. It's called the EID wallet, and it can authenticate you from that. So that's called a digital identity. So the scope of identity management in the world is moving from all those physical identities to digital identities, and it is going even beyond that to workload identities, machine identities, and very soon we will be talking about AI identities. So that's why I'm very happy to note that वैसे ही identity management is billions of dollars of business every year, and हम लोग miniOrange may be a 100th vendor in identity space. We are doing well, but there are so many other vendors. But the scope of all those vendors is increasing. So that's a very good thing for us to know and have. इसके अलावा I think yeah, so we all talked about that. So there needs to be a bridge. अभी अपने मिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स का बिजनेस अपने सेटअप कर लिया है, कस्टमर्स ने अपने पुराने आइडेंटिटी प्रोवाइडर्स बिठा लिए हैं. अब नए तरह के आइडेंटिटीज आ रही हैं, तो उनका मैनेजमेंट कौन करेगा? तो उनका मैनेजमेंट हम उनके लिए नए आइडेंटिटी प्रोवाइडर्स तो बिठा नहीं सकते. तो देयर इज अ बिग स्कोप फॉर अस टू क्रिएट अ ब्रिज between the older identity providers and the new age identities like digital identities and workload identities, machine identities. वो सब का bridge होना चाहिए. So when we went around the world, we were in Berlin, and we figured out that digital identities के authentication and single sign-on के लिए दूसरे protocols बन रहे हैं. तो पुराने protocols आपको पता ही होंगे, authentication protocols, radius, TACAX machines के लिए के साथ होता है. फिर SAML ओपन आईडी OAuth होता है. तो ये वाला ओपन आईडी फॉर VC एंड ओपन आईडी फॉर VP. तो वेरीफाइबल क्रेडेंशियल बनाना एक मैथ यूज करके बनाया जाता है, और उसको वेरीफाई करने के लिए जिसने आइडेंटिटी बनाई है उसकी भी जरूरत नहीं होती, वो उसी मैथ को डिसाइफर करके उसका क्रेडेंशियल वेरीफाई किया जा सकता है. So that's a pretty new thing. We learned that in Berlin, and we also saw that there are some really cool vendors to look out for. If you are interested, all of us are. That's why you are spending your Saturday morning with us here. P0 Security, machine identities के लिए is doing groundbreaking work. Workload identities के लिए एक और Ambit बोल के है. And It's Me के बारे में बताया मैंने आपको. बेल्जियम का एक बैंक है, उसमें 7 million consumers log in with their digital identities to their banking. And It's Me is the IDP that helps you do all that. So you may want to go and research about all these vendors. You will see cutting edge work. They are absolutely cutting edge in the world. Moving on to the next trend. We have lined up a few AI sessions here. I feel that the innovation in the AI space is a bit lacking, and so is the cybersecurity around it. So I feel अभी innovation के बारे में मैं ज़्यादा नहीं बोलूँगा. There are two learned people who are coming and giving keynotes right in the next hour. वो बताएंगे AI में क्या innovation हो रहा है. हो सकता है मेरे को नहीं पता हो, but cyber security के बारे में मुझे पता है. And there is इतने सारे AI tools बन रहे हैं, इतने सारे LLMs बन रहे हैं. Cyber security around it, especially fine-grained access control, उसका बहुत बड़ा scope है. And there is a company called Antimatter. You should look at it. It's a very new age company. ज़्यादा information भी नहीं है online. But RSA conference San Francisco में जो होता है उसमें उन्होंने present किया था. And they were presenting how AI के अंदर policy management. अगर मैं एक CEO हूँ, यहाँ पे खूब सारे senior लोग बैठे हुए हैं, उसके पीछे कुछ जूनियर एम्प्लॉयज हैं, उसके साथ में कुछ स्टूडेंट्स हैं जैसे, एंड वी आर यूजिंग द सेम एआई इंस्टेंस, एंड देन if I enter some data and somebody else should not be able to see it if I don't wish for them to get access to that. So उस तरह का policy management using an AI tool to protect another AI. So Antimatter is doing groundbreaking work. You should look for that. Look it up. Trend number 3 that I want to highlight is push to cloud to build better AI tools. अभी बहुत हम लोग miniOrange में we use we have cybersecurity products on a lot of marketplaces like WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, Atlassian, and Shopify. And there's a big trend in pushing all that, all the push to cloud. Push to cloud is good, accessibility अच्छी होती है, वो सब उसके लिए अच्छा होता है, but एक और रीजन छुपा रहता है कि अगर सारा का सारा डेटा क्लाउड में होगा तो I'm seeing a lot of vendors trying to create AI tools with that data. Not great, but I've seen firsthand. Atlassian ने इतना ज़्यादा push किया अभी कि they had a server component, they got rid of that. Then they had a data center component, which is still server side on premise, and they have a cloud. So इतना ज़्यादा push किया कि उन्होंने server component को तो हटा ही दिया और data center component को इस तरह से सौतेला बिठाओ और सारा का सारा फोकस इज ऑन द क्लाउड, और क्लाउड में ले जाके और उनका मेन एम ये रहता है कि कैसे एआई टूल्स को बेटर बनाए, और क्योंकि वहां पे डेटा सबका होगा और उसी तरह से वो टूल्स ट्रेन हो सकते हैं. सो दिस इज व्हाट आई एम सीइंग. A big opportunity for vendors is to create something on the data center version, because Atlassian कहता है कि हम हमारा AI सिर्फ क्लाउड वर्जन पे रिलीज करेंगे. तो डेटा सेंटर वर्जन पे जो मिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स का इन्वेस्टमेंट हो रखा है, सारे बैंक्स, सारे गवर्नमेंट्स जो सब डेटा सेंटर पे चलते हैं, उनका क्या होएगा? तो हमारे जैसे वेंडर्स के लिए टॉप अपॉर्चुनिटी है. वी कैन बिल्ड समथिंग, we can build our own AI tools on Atlassian data center. However, it is yet to be seen if limited data के साथ वो ट्रेन हो पाएगा कि नहीं, और वो सक्सेस हो पाएगा कि नहीं. It is yet to be seen. So that's what I'm seeing as trend number 3. Trend number 4 what I'm seeing is releasing half-baked security features on cloud platform and charging a lot for it. So अगर आप क्लाउड पे पुश करेंगे किसी को, तो कोई भी क्लाउड ऐप है, अपन सबके पास जीमेल एक्सेस होगा, जीमेल के अपने यूजर आईडी पासवर्ड्स होते हैं, बट इन जनरल बिजनेस टू बिजनेस सॉफ्टवेयर में ऐसा नहीं होता. बिजनेस टू बिजनेस सॉफ्टवेयर में if I'm buying something, for example, we have an HR software called Zoho. I want to log into Zoho using my miniOrange identity user ID password, and to make that happen, Zoho has to be able to support it. But cloud में अगर आपने किया push, तो सबका expectation ये होता है कि cloud vendor will provide some sort of a feature, security feature, so that मेरे identities से cloud में login कर पाए, और cloud में होगा भी वो multi tenant होगा वो. So the vendors have figured out that it's very easy to give some half-baked features on those cloud platforms and charge more for it. But वो half-baked ही रह जाता है क्योंकि उनका पूरा focus उस cloud app पे होता है, not really on the single sign-on aspect, or not on the any other cybersecurity aspect like a DLP. So that again brings us a great opportunity. हमारे जैसे वेंडर्स के लिए बहुत अच्छा रहता है, हम जाके उसमें वो फुलफिल करते हैं, क्योंकि कस्टमर्स अगर क्लाउड पे मूव होंगे तो उनको पूरा स्वीट चाहिए होगा, एसएसओ चाहिए होगा, दे विल बी वरीड अबाउट डेटा लॉस प्रिवेंशन, एंड उसके लिए उनको इनोवेशन चाहिए होगा जो somebody like miniOrange can provide. So there is another super innovation that अगर कोई भी क्लाउड ऐप हो, उसका कोई भी एम हो, सारे के सारे कस्टमर्स को एक कंसर्न रहता है, क्लाउड ऐप पे मूव क्यों करते हैं अपन? क्योंकि सबको लगता है मल्टी टेनेंट होगा, सस्ता होगा, और इनिशियली सस्ता भी कर देते हैं वो. तो हम सारे कस्टमर्स मूव करने की ट्राई करते हैं, बट होता क्या है उसमें कि उनका ट्रस्ट बिल्ड करना थोड़ा मुश्किल रहता है, क्योंकि अगर ऑन प्रेमाइस होगा खर्चा ज्यादा होगा, बट कंट्रोल में रहेगा सब कुछ, अपने हमारा डेटा हमारे कंट्रोल में रहेगा. बट क्लाउड में अगर आपने मूव किया कुछ भी, So the problem is there is how will you forget about hackers हैं वो सब steal कर सकते हैं वो सब अलग बात है. But the main cloud vendor itself, how can you trust that? So miniOrange has done great innovation in that front, where we sit on your premises, and if you have any cloud application, we could encrypt and decrypt your data on the fly, so that when it's stored at the cloud app site, it is all encrypted, and the cloud vendor himself will not be able to see anything. I suggest all of you to go to the booth area and get a demo of that product. It's a fantastic product. I think it's some innovation that cutting edge in the world. Nobody else is doing it. So please watch out for that. So trend number 5, it flows from trend 4. Countries are enacting laws and saying, yes, data can be put on cloud, but the data residency has to be in my country. So it started a long time ago. US had data residency laws. Then Europe had the GDPR laws, privacy को लेके था. अभी इंडिया ने भी DPDP एक्ट इनैक्ट किया है. उसमें भी the basic phenomena is that even if your data is on the cloud, it has to be within the country. And uske liye different countries have different levels of preparedness. Amazon has done a lot of investment in this area, and they have servers and data centers, data farms around the world. And many companies like Atlassian and others who do not have such great infrastructure, they are tying up with AWS and making it happen. But there are too many overlapping and complicated compliance laws. पहले ISO 9001 होता था, 27001 होता था. अभी तो हर 2-3 महीने बाद एक नया compliance law सुनाई दे रहा है. And it is becoming super difficult for vendors like us to keep up with all the compliance laws. Customers come, they say, are you compliant with this? They don't even understand that whether if they're buying a cloud product or an on-premise product or a plugin which will totally be residing in their environment, and some of the laws do not even apply. So बहुत बड़ा confusion है, and there are lots of compliance laws that are overlapping as well. So that's one trend that we are watching. This one has been around. It's not a new trend. It has been around for a long time. Too many cybersecurity vendors. Now we are lucky that Pune is hosting this IdentityShield conference, where I'm lucky that I'm part of miniOrange. So miniOrange is the bigger vendor here. However, if you go to any other conference around the world, if you go to RSA conference, hundreds of vendors there. 600 plus vendors होंगे वो. If you go to JISEC in Dubai, उतने ही होंगे, सब के सब वहाँ आते हैं. Go to any conference, too many cybersecurity vendors, and they all have overlapping products and features. So I feel that cybersecurity consulting is where you should start. If any of you is a customer out here and you're getting confused, trust me, every customer in the world gets very confused because there's just too many vendors trying to get their attention. And what I try to pitch to them is the first thing they need to do is go towards cybersecurity consulting to figure out what their specific problems are, and then go for which product might fulfill their need. In the identity field itself, like I said, there are about hundreds or so vendors, and miniOrange is one of them. We are doing well. The scope of the entire thing is increasing. And miniOrange is also lucky in a way that we are a bootstrapped company. So any of our customers give us any feedback, we try to create a product around that. But other companies who are very focused because they are funded externally, they don't get the money. They can't use the money to do anything that they want, but exactly what the investors want. So they rely heavily on their one area, and they try to go deep in it. And then what happens is, after trying it for several years, वो इतना ज़्यादा grow नहीं कर पाता है, तो then they sell it off and the customers are left in hanging. But if you are done with all the selling and buying, like companies like Ping ID, companies like RSA Security, then you start building deeper roots into the community and start building around what the customer needs are. So, and miniOrange has been lucky. We own, even though we are small, we are a bootstrapped company, so uh, we don't have to rely on any investors' money. So we can do what our customers want us to do, and that's what we do. All right. So trend number 7: the world is moving towards 100% subscription models. It's a obviously a very exciting thing to hear for vendors like us. पहले ऐसा होता था कि दुबई नहीं, मतलब पूरे मिडिल ईस्ट में कहीं भी जाते थे तो उनको परपेचुअल लाइसेंस चाहिए होता था। ऐसा लाइसेंस दो जो 15 साल 20 साल चले। एंड हम लोग फिगर आउट करते रहते थे कि अगर 15-20 साल का लाइसेंस देंगे तो फिर रिन्यूअल नहीं आएगा तो हमारा ग्रोथ इफेक्ट हो जाएगा, तो क्या करें उसके लिए। सो वी ट्राई टू कट इट डाउन टू से यस परपेचुअल है बट 3 years, परपेचुअल है बट 5 years, इस तरह का अपन ट्राई करते थे। But now, last year we noticed a lot of companies, even in Middle East, they are okay buying from us with 100% subscription. The only thing that has changed is their expectation. Obviously, also has changed. The expectation now is that your product, if we are buying a cloud version, the uptime will be very high. And uptime 99.99% achieve karna is a super hard thing. I know a lot of us use DigiLocker. मैं जयपुर में था and I was trying to get my latest driver's license into DigiLocker on around January first week, and I realized DigiLocker is down. So DigiLocker is an extremely good example of digital identity and digital wallet, but uptime है ही नहीं उसमें. So that's the world is moving towards subscription, but the expectation is that uptime will be 99.99% at least, which is supremely hard to achieve. All right, trend number 8: shared identities with passwordless authentication. License cost is on everyone's mind. With the subscription model, every year you have to pay at least 100% of the amount. However, a lot of companies which are finance led, led by investors and all of that, they try to get to a term called 120% NDR, which means overall it means अगर 100 रुपए पिछले साल लिए एक कस्टमर से, इस साल 120 रुपए लेंगे, अगले साल 120 का 20%, 120% लेंगे, इस तरह 144, इस तरह चलता है उनका. दैट्स व्हाट प्रोपेल्स देयर ग्रोथ. एंड इन्वेस्टर्स के माइंड में एनडीआर, नेट डॉलर रिटेंशन ऑफ 120% और मोर is extremely important. But is 120% of last year, is it a reasonable thing to ask from customers? And I feel it is not, because sometimes inflation is at 5%, sometimes inflation is say 7%, and you're charging 120% just to show growth. It's not a fair thing. So, but companies have been relying on license cost and increase in license cost for a very long time, and they will continue to do it. So now customers have become very smart, and they want to use shared identities along with, so for example, 10 of us share the same ID, but still they want to know who exactly out of those 10 logged in without letting the software know. And software could be an Oracle software or an SAP, which are very, very expensive. So how they do it is they're asking us, identity management vendors, to allow shared identities, but authenticate using a mobile, and combine that, and so they know which one of the 10 people logged in, but internally आगे कौन जा रहा है, एक ही जना जा रहा है, तो उसको आगे जाने देते, तो लाइसेंस कॉस्ट बचा लेते हैं वहां पे अपना, और पता भी लगा लेते हैं कि कौन लॉग इन कर रहा है. But overall license cost is on everybody's mind. Everybody is worried about the growing cost of running their business. That's why आप लोगों ने देखा होगा अभी न्यूज़पेपर में आता है कितना, all the global capability centers, they're opening offices left and right. And even in this conference, I was surprised to see the number of different companies that are coming. NatWest Bank भी देखा शायद मैंने यहाँ पे in the registration list. So it's obviously not a bank where आप और हमारे बैंक अकाउंट्स NatWest में नहीं होंगे, बट NatWest का ग्लोबल कैपेबिलिटी सेंटर पुणे में ही है. So that's a very important thing. So I feel like cost is on everybody's mind. That's why they're moving to India. They feel like their businesses can run longer. And this is an example of that also. Shared identities with passwordless authentication to save on license cost. All right, so now a great innovation from our company as well as some of the other companies out there is privilege access management. पहले ऐसा होता था कि कंप्लायंस के हिसाब से बोल दिया जाता था जिसको भी प्रिविलेज एक्सेस है, कोई भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर है, डेटाबेस एक्सेस है बैंक्स में, या फिर किसी को भी ज्यादा एक्सेस है, तो उसका पूरी एक्टिविटी को मॉनिटर किया जाए। और वो मॉनिटर कैसे करेंगे? प्रिविलेज एक्सेस मैनेजमेंट सॉफ्टवेयर लगा के। पर अब देख रहे हैं कि वी आर नोटिसिंग दैट नॉट ओनली कंप्लायंस, देयर आर एक्चुअल इंसिडेंट्स दैट आर हैपनिंग। देयर इज अ कंपनी इन बानेर where which in which a privileged access guy gave away data of its customers on purpose, and the entire business fell apart, and they had to really work very hard to get some of the customers back. And that is an example where a privileged administrative admin, he gave away access, all the data of the customers were leaked, and that itself, that is also propelling some of the customers to go towards implementing privilege access management there. A lot of us use GoDaddy, or some of us use Google Apps for Business. There is a need for creating a fine-grained access manager, fine-grained policy management, which lets you define GoDaddy. अगर मेरे को grow करना है, तो मैं सारा का सारा access खुद पे तो लेके रख नहीं सकता. I have to share it with some of the senior members of my team, and how much access I want to give them, or how much safer, how safe I feel that that they should have, what kind of access they should have. So there's a need for a tool that I need to create, which we have created, and you should look out for. It's in the PAM section of our booth area. You should go there and do a demo of that, which lets you define कि GoDaddy के अंदर जाना है या Google Apps business के अंदर जाना है, कितना एक्सेस देना है किसी को, कितना एक्सेस नहीं देना है, अगर अंदर गया उसका एक्टिविटी रिकॉर्ड करना है, वो सब आपको करके देगा वो. And that need is being propelled by actual insider threat incidents that are happening. Now, this is a realization. I know a lot of us have read this in the news. Automation is not all that great when your patch update is not tested. Some of us got stuck in the airports. Some of us have read this in the news. Microsoft and CrowdStrike. Initially, it came out that Microsoft outage ho gaya hai, and Microsoft was quickly giving the blame to CrowdStrike. And some of us may know the details, but it was an untested software patch that got applied, and a large part of the world came down. All the terminals came down and caused huge losses and inconveniences for a lot of us. And I think उससे recover करने के लिए 2 weeks लगा आप सबको. So automation, automatic updates are actually a big threat. I feel there should be some level of testing. The reliance and the convenience aspect of it, reliance on vendors, we think that they're doing their work, but sometimes they don't. So now I'm also seeing profit is more important than growth at any cost. Hundreds of companies out there. I'm seeing 99 out of 100 companies close down after a few years. And after, there are very, very few companies that survived 10-year threshold. And their entire focus, अगर कंपनी बनानी है तो सबको पता है कि पहले पैसे उठाने हैं और फिर उसके बाद खर्च करने हैं. Nobody is thinking of कि पहले पैसे क्यों उठाने हैं. Why don't we create value for the customers first and see if the customers are willing to pay for it? तो वो aspect is missing. And but I think since a lot of companies closed down, a lot of investors realized that growth at any cost is not a great idea. But profit is also important so that you can have a long runway. And with that, there should be a balance between profit and growth. And miniOrange has always been a bootstrap company, and focus has been on making a little profit so that we don't have to rely on anybody, and we have an infinite runway. I'm very proud to say that we have an infinite runway. I have another session at 2:50 p.m. today where we'll talk more in detail about the miniOrange story. And I want to tell all you young entrepreneurs, including the ones within miniOrange, that it is possible to create companies with your own money. You just have to work hard, and you have to be diligent, disciplined, and you have to persevere. and it's possible. We'll talk more about that. And a lot of the world is realizing that, and that's what I'm seeing in the news these days. The last trend, I should not be praising the super innovation that I'm seeing in consumer fraud, but रोज के रोज पेपर में इतना ज्यादा डिजिटल अरेस्ट एंड दिस एंड दैट, इन्वेस्टमेंट स्कैम, कस्टम में गिफ्ट आ गया, ये हो गया, वो हो गया. It's amazing to see. Even the prime minister is saying that digital arrest जैसा कोई प्रावधान नहीं है, फिर भी a lot of people are falling for it. I get calls from Turkmenistan and Pakistan, a lot of foreign countries, on a regular basis. Sometimes I feel like picking up the call and getting arrested and seeing कि क्या उसके बाद क्या. I'm very curious about it. One of these days I'll do it. But it's amazing जिस तरह से इतना ज्यादा सोशल इंजीनियरिंग में इतना ज्यादा इनोवेशन. मतलब आई फील लाइक we need to step up and create that same kind of innovation on the good side, and this is the good side. So I feel like we have to learn from that innovation that is going on there, and we have to be motivated to defeat them. And that's why I feel that a cybersecurity conference of this kind is a need of the hour. And we need to not only innovate, work hard, build cutting edge products for preventing of consumer fraud as well as in the enterprises, and solve all their problems. So in Identity Shield, we have, I already explained to you, 1,500 plus people today and tomorrow. There are many external speakers, 60 plus sessions. And the main things are there. We have lined up a whole host of world-class keynote speakers. After me, it is going to be Raj Sablok. Raj Sablok was the ex-president of Zoho Corporation, and he joined when it was at $50 million revenue, and when he left 10 years later, he had grown it to $750 million. And after that, he went on to become the CEO of Pipedrive. He took it, he sold it to another company, and then right now, he's the partner in Bessemer Venture Partners, which is a very old, 150 or 100 plus years old company. He's based in California, and he'll be joining us from there. I didn't want to miss this opportunity. He had some family thing around this time, so they don't like to travel outside the country at this time. But we requested him, and he agreed. He's watching us right now, and I'll put him over onto him in a few minutes. And then we have Mr. Akash, who is the ex-MD of JP Morgan Chase. He'll be talking about AI and cybersecurity. I'm very proud to present my younger brother. He's a PhD, Abhishek, and he's also the CTO of an AI company, and he has done so many projects for AI in Accenture and in his present company. I'll let him speak about that. And then we also have the CEO of Data Security Council of India, Mr. Vinayak, who will be talking to us about the latest and greatest. He goes around the world. So power-packed keynote sessions hai. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Pune mein baith ke sunne ko mil raha hai. Uske alawa, then once it is over, there'll be 4 tracks that will be open. सिक्योरिटी एसेंशियल्स ट्रैक, उसमें मेरे को तो रिवाइज करने में मजा आता है. सिक्योरिटी हर साल एक एक रिवीजन हो जाता है वहां बैठ के, बहुत अच्छा रहता है. उसके अलावा हैकर्स, थ्रेट्स एंड वल्नरेबिलिटीज का एक ट्रैक है. उसके अलावा डेवसेकऑप्स का एक ट्रैक है, और लास्ट वाला शायद मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटेजी एंड मार्केटिंग का एक ट्रैक है. Those 4 tracks, and then that will continue through the end of tomorrow. And then we have an innovation sandbox kind of a program where different people from within miniOrange and outside, they submitted their innovations for the last year that they have done in the previous year, and we will be evaluating them. There are some judges, they'll be evaluating them. 7 of them will pitch their innovation in front of you, and there are 5 judges who will evaluate. And then after that, after some time, they will be giving them an award. Award is also good. Somebody else will announce that. We have a very strong booth area where I'd like you to go check out every booth. Demo देखिए उसका, in-depth demo मिलेगा सब में. There are some external partners also which are present. I think Pune Cyber Cell is also here with a booth there. And we have Doyen, we have Vast ID recruitment. So take advantage of all of that. And we also have this miniOrange story coming up in a few hours. I would like you to attend this. And so I'd like to welcome you again to Identity Shield 2025. As a speaker, it's always my, it's a struggle. What you have learned over the past 1 year, I want to present that only. And some of it may be repetitive for some of the senior colleagues that are sitting here. But I would really request you to give me some feedback. I love feedback. अगर feedback मिलता है तो मुझे improve करने का मौका मिलेगा. तो इसलिए please you can scan this QR code, give me some direct feedback, it'll all come to me. In fact, I'd suggest सारे सेशंस में QR कोड है, स्कैन करके फीडबैक दीजिए अपना. कोई भी इम्प्रूवमेंट अपने को दिख रहा है तो शेयर करिए. नेक्स्ट ईयर विल ट्राई टू इम्प्रूव ऑन इट एंड विद योर कोलैबोरेशन.